Welcome back to the English Daily Podcast. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jake. Today we're talking about the science of teamwork, and why some groups solve problems brilliantly while others struggle, even when everyone is talented.
Teamwork is part of almost every area of life. We work with classmates, colleagues, family members, sports teams, and community groups. But being in a group does not automatically mean working well together. A team needs trust, clear communication, and a shared goal.
Exactly. Let's begin with a useful question. What is the difference between a group and a team? A group is simply a collection of people. A team is a group whose members depend on one another to achieve a common result. The phrase common goal means an objective that everyone shares.
For example, people waiting at a bus stop are a group. They are together, but they do not have to coordinate their actions. A basketball team is different. Players have different roles, but they must cooperate to win the game.
The word cooperate is important for English learners. It means to work together willingly. A related word is collaboration. Collaboration is the process of creating or solving something together. You can say, our collaboration produced a strong design, or, the two departments need to collaborate more closely.
Now, Jake, what does science tell us about successful teams?
One interesting idea is psychological safety. This means that people feel comfortable sharing ideas, asking questions, and admitting mistakes without fear of being embarrassed or punished. Psychological safety does not mean that nobody receives criticism. It means that people can speak honestly and still feel respected.
That sounds especially important in a workplace. Imagine a meeting where one person always interrupts others, and everyone worries that a bad idea will make them look foolish. The team may become quiet, but quiet does not mean productive. People might keep useful information to themselves.
Right. A team can lose valuable ideas through what we call silence. One practical habit is to invite different voices into the conversation. A team leader can ask, "What are we missing?" or, "Does anyone see a risk here?" These questions create space for careful thinking.
Here is a useful communication tip for everyday conversations. Instead of saying, "That will never work," try saying, "I see a possible problem. Could we explore another approach?" The second sentence disagrees, but it sounds constructive. Constructive means helpful and focused on improvement.
That is a great example of tone. Tone is the feeling or attitude expressed by someone's words. The same message can sound friendly, aggressive, or uncertain depending on the tone. In teamwork, a calm and respectful tone makes difficult discussions easier.
Another key idea is the balance between different roles. In a strong team, people do not all need to have the same personality or skill. In fact, a mixture of skills can be an advantage. One person may be good at generating ideas, another at organizing details, and another at explaining the final plan.
The word strength can mean a skill or quality that helps someone succeed. We often say, her strength is creative thinking, or, his strength is keeping the project on schedule. A weakness is an area where someone needs support or practice. Good teams use strengths wisely instead of expecting everyone to do everything.
But different strengths can also create conflict. A creative person may want to keep exploring possibilities, while a practical person may want to make a decision immediately. How can they work together?
They can agree on a process. For example, the team might spend 20 minutes brainstorming, which means producing many ideas without judging them. After that, the team can evaluate the ideas using clear criteria. Criteria are standards used to make a decision, such as cost, time, quality, or safety.
That process separates creativity from judgment. During brainstorming, people can be imaginative. During evaluation, they can be realistic. Mixing these two activities too early often stops people from suggesting unusual but valuable solutions.
Another important factor is a clear division of responsibilities. If nobody knows who is doing what, tasks may be repeated, forgotten, or delayed. A simple team plan should answer 3 questions. What needs to be done? Who is responsible? When is it due?
The expression due date means the date when something should be completed. You can ask, "What is the due date for this report?" or say, "I can finish it by the due date." It is also useful to distinguish between responsible for a task and involved in a task. The responsible person leads the work, while other people may give advice or assistance.
Yes, and teams should not confuse activity with progress. A team can have many meetings and send many messages but still make very little progress. Progress means movement toward a goal. One good practice is to end each meeting with specific next steps.
For example, instead of ending with, "We'll think about it," say, "Maria will compare the 3 options by Friday, and Jake will prepare a short summary." Specific language creates accountability. Accountability means taking responsibility for a task and being ready to explain what happened.
Some learners may know the word responsibility, but accountability is slightly different. Responsibility is the duty to do something. Accountability is the expectation that you will report on your actions and results. In a healthy team, accountability is clear but not threatening.
Let's talk about listening, because teamwork is not only about speaking. Active listening means paying close attention, checking your understanding, and responding to the speaker's main idea. You can show active listening by saying, "So, if I understand you correctly, you're concerned about the timeline."
That sentence is useful because it gives the other person a chance to correct you. Another helpful phrase is, "Could you tell me more about that?" It shows curiosity rather than immediate disagreement. Sometimes a team problem becomes smaller simply because people feel heard.
What about remote teams? Many people now work with colleagues in different cities or countries. Online teamwork offers flexibility, but it can also create misunderstandings. Short messages may sound cold, and people may not know when they are expected to reply.
Remote teams need communication norms. Norms are shared expectations about behavior. A team might decide to use email for formal information, chat for quick questions, and video meetings for complex discussions. They might also agree that urgent messages should be clearly labeled, while non-urgent messages can wait.
That is practical. Time zones are another challenge. If a team works across several countries, rotating meeting times can be fairer. Rotating means changing regularly, so the same person is not always forced to join a meeting very early or very late.
And written communication should be especially clear. Start with the purpose of your message, include the important details, and finish with a question or action. For example, "I'm writing to confirm our presentation plan. Please review slide 3 and send your comments by Wednesday."
Let's consider disagreement. Is disagreement bad for a team?
Not at all. Respectful disagreement can improve decisions because it helps a team notice risks and examine assumptions. An assumption is something you believe to be true without having complete proof. A useful team asks, "What are we assuming?" before making an important choice.
The danger is personal conflict. Personal conflict attacks a person, while productive debate examines an idea. Compare these 2 sentences, "You never understand the customer," and "I'm not sure this plan reflects the customer's needs." The second sentence focuses on evidence and invites discussion.
A simple formula can help during conflict. First, describe the situation without exaggeration. Second, explain its effect. Third, suggest a next step. You might say, "The deadline changed twice, so the team is confused. Could we confirm one final schedule today?"
That formula is useful at home too. If you share chores with someone, you can say, "The dishes have been left for 2 days, and it makes the kitchen difficult to use. Can we agree on a cleaning schedule?" Clear requests are usually more effective than silent frustration.
Before we finish, let's give listeners a small teamwork experiment. The next time you join a group discussion, do 3 things. Ask one open question, summarize one person's idea, and offer one specific next step.
An open question cannot be answered with only yes or no. For example, "What would make this plan stronger?" is open. "Do you like this plan?" is usually a closed question. Open questions encourage people to explain their thinking.
And remember that good teamwork is a skill, not a personality type. You do not need to be the loudest person in the room. You can contribute by preparing carefully, listening deeply, sharing useful information, and helping the team stay focused.
Let's recap today's key points. A team is more than a group because members depend on one another to reach a common goal. Successful teams build psychological safety, use different strengths, define responsibilities, and create accountability.
We also learn that constructive disagreement can improve decisions. Active listening, clear communication norms, and specific next steps are especially important for remote teams. Useful vocabulary included cooperate, collaboration, constructive, criteria, due date, accountability, norms, assumption, and open question.
For your English practice, choose one of these words and make a sentence about your own life. You could say, our class needs better communication norms, or, my strength is organizing information. Writing your own examples helps new vocabulary become active vocabulary.
Thanks for listening to the English Daily Podcast. We hope this episode helps you communicate more confidently and work more effectively with others.
If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, share it with another English learner, and leave a review. Join us next time for another useful conversation in English.
Until then, keep learning, keep listening, and keep cooperating. Goodbye.